The mayor did his race piece.
Well, first of all of us, the three of us in here, have done our time on Mackinac Island. I mean, we've all been up there numerous times. We know the Mackinac Island routine, even stepping around the horse stuff that they don't manage to sweep up sometimes. But you know, I think that when white folks discover us, it's always amusing to me. You know, it's like when Ron Fournier's protege, Nolan Finley, discovered black folks and he wrote a column, "Where are the black folks?" You know, well, we never went anywhere. We're still majority Detroit. We're still in the house. And now Mike Duggan, Mike of Livonia, has suddenly discovered systemic racism. All the while, his policies are a manifestation of systemic racism and wealth inequality all over the map. When we watch the corporate welfare for a hockey puck, when we watch the corporate welfare and maybe the unlawful corporate welfare that the Pistons garnered. I mean, you know, it's one, you speak out of both sides of your mouth, Mayor Duggan, because the reality is, as Mildred Gaddis pointed out to Ron Fournier, no matter what Mike Duggan says on Fantasy Island, and that's what I view Mackinac Island as, Fantasy Island, you know, a bunch of folks come together up there that don't look like majority Detroit, and then they develop an agenda for majority Detroit to inflict on us. I mean, you know, all I'm saying is we can have at it. You know, I saw Sheila Cockrell. Sheila Cockrell, the same Sheila Cockrell, at the opening of your show every day, Mildred, you play Sheila Cockrell's statement, they can take buckets and dip up in the Detroit River if they want water. Yeah. Well, that racist garble, she sets up and applauds Mike Duggan's discovery of systemic racism and his candid dialogue on race at Mackinac Island and a safe environment with good, safe white folks. I mean, you can't get any safer than Mackinac Island for white folks.
That's true. It is. It's interesting because when he had done that, this whole one Detroit for everybody, for all of us thing that he put up there and went through, you know, the history of racism and the local policies and the federal policies that created segregation, prevented black folks from owning homes, from moving where they wanted to move and all that stuff, and showing pictures of some of these things like Ron Fournier pointed out, I couldn't help but think, what if Dave Bing had done the same thing? What if Dennis Archer's done the same thing? What if Kwame Kilpatrick had done the same thing? Or Coleman Young? You know, it's not like they weren't saying that federal policies and other policies were the things that created it. It's just that it wasn't really heard until, you know,
let me just tell you this,
in that way.
Some of them got mad when Dave Bing, I use that at the opening of my show too, when Dave Bing says we think that we're being inclusive, but we're not. They got upset when I think it was the economic
club over there.
Yes, when he said that, he was telling them in this rebuilding or whatever you're doing with Detroit, you're locking black folk out. They got mad with him, and that was what, last year?
But understand what Mike Duggan is really doing in an election year.
Pandering.
Mike Duggan understands better than most his vulnerabilities. Mm-hmm. Even Ron Fournier said if he wins re-election.
Right.
You see, okay, let's say that there are two candidates out there. Of course, Mike Duggan, the incumbent, and Coleman Young, the second. If Coleman Young were properly packaged and presented, he could be a formidable candidate given his legislative record, which is really honorable, and he's been doing the job for Detroit there, but they want to reduce him